Take one.
My name is Tara Marie Cahill Fondiler Yedemel. I was born in Burbank in 1955, and I had some extremely cool parents. They were like bohemians, beatniks, so I was brought up completely different. You know, I came home from junior high, and the whole block in Santa Monica was taking LSD and said, take some of this. And it was like powdered. Things got weird. It just went too far. It was too artistic. My brain just went, I can't go back to reality. I was enrolled at Otis, and it was really hard and very expensive. I needed a job really bad. Downstairs was Al's bar. So I sat down one day on the street. And then Mark came in. I said, I really need a job, you know. And he said, okay. It was new to me, and it was easy. And I could fit it in with my schedule because I went to school 8 hours a day. It was fun. I got to listen to music. I got to see everybody that was artists. I walk in to Al's bar. It was dark. The furniture looked terrible. There was a pool table. We worked out of a shoebox with cash. We did have that cash register that was really old. Remember, the disinfectant was really getting rad. It was really smelling strange. My favorite activity was to be behind the bar, and the bottles were lined up, and I had to chuck them into a trash can, like at the end of the bar, which was pretty far away. And we'd have like a competition to see how many we could get in there. It felt so good to just heave them, and they'd break, not all over the place, but inside the trash can. That really was a sport for me. I never, ever lost a bottle. It always went into the trash can. I got bar rot. That's where you're washing the glasses. Your hands get like a yeast thing. My fingernails would like mutate. They call it bar rot. In the summertime, we have those palmetto bugs, right? I hate them. They're gross. They freak me out. So I'm doing the bar. People are coming in. I got to do my thing. And there's 2 of them up on the beams, 2 or 3 of them, and they fly, right? So there's like kind of straightish people around, and I've got their beers. They're sitting there, and they're kind of looking at the cockroaches. They're looking at me. And then like one of them just takes this dive bomb and goes right here with all of its legs and everything here on my face. And I'm freaking. I don't live in cockroach reality, okay? Everyone in the bar screamed, and I tried not to scream, but I was like, is it gone? Is it gone? Is it gone? On top of that, Mark had just walked in, and I mean, these people were like yelling. Mark got really pissed off. You don't have to make such a big deal out of it. I was like, wow, dude, I wish they crawled up your ass. That was the wildlife. At the American Hotel, I remember moving into a very small space. It held like maybe a mattress and a half. It's really ridiculous. So it was pretty interesting. We were just running around getting ripped, totally out of our gourds. And it was exciting because it was people of my ilk. I had to live it and breathe it, like everyone was pretty much doing down here in those days. Mark was an incredibly funny man, just hysterical. He used to make me laugh all the time. In a way, he was like this father figure, but he didn't want to be my father. He wanted to be my lover. And I used to do some of the books, right? I would try to balance the books for the hotel and bar or whatever. I'm extremely dyslexic. Like the worst. So I made this $300 goof. He freaked out. I think I got fired too. I was like, whatever, man. This is not my thing. I don't really give it. What do you expect from an idiot that doesn't know numbers? But Mark fired and hired me more than anybody. And then the last time, he didn't actually fire me. He just told someone else to fire me. At the American Hotel, personalities were diverse. There was Lloyd. I never knew where he hung. I know he's a street person. He would come in the bar, get really, really drunk, and he would get very belligerent. One time we locked the bar, and he smashed his fist right through the porthole window. We didn't know what to do with him because he was pretty out of it. George was a mystery, just a really neat sweetie. Wherever he could see that it was scuzzy anywhere, he would spend all night painting. So he painted the drains white for the American Hotel and Al's Bar. It was exciting. It was like this was his purpose, and he loved it. Old George insisted he had a wife in one of the rooms. So it was this mysterious woman, mysterious room. Other people that were in the building, they'd stop me and go, I met his wife. She actually exists. And I'm thinking, yeah, right. Okay, whatever. I never saw her. George was so part of this American Hotel. He was the American Hotel. To this day, what haunts me is that if I don't get out of bed, I'm like George's wife. American Hotel had so many groups of types of people that fled at certain points, and then I'm getting back in contact because of social media, which is amazing. Social media is like what Al's Bar was. It was the people, it was the artwork, the energy everyone had about art. We would gather here. We could play pool and relax and really have these interactions with other artists. And it was wonderful because we could talk about art or we just plain relaxed. I was an artist and I learned a lot of mediums here, like the encaustic painting from Andy Wilf and from Vic Henderson. Vic Henderson was like my mentor. I loved his work because it was so expressionistic. And then he could tighten up. That's what I'm about. It's like my art gets really wild, do whatever you want, and then narrow it down and do something hyper-realistic. So that was kind of the stretching and pulling that I was doing. I was going to Otis, and I had done 4 years at Santa Monica College, really drawing the figure and capturing emotion, trying to be creative. But then when I hit Otis, they're going, you can't copy things anymore. You have to think up here now. Everybody had lives, and I saw everybody working really large, and I'd never worked large before. Making larger work was challenging and cool. I was doing these encaustic paintings. It was fun because it was immediate. It was hot. You could build surfaces, and for some reason the splashes, because it was goopy, would splash just right, like right where you wanted it. If you wanted to make a Z or do something, it splashed right there, and it was a good splash. That's what I liked about encaustic painting. My girlfriend, my good friend Roberta, posed for me for the Il Poacher, the big painting, the 3-panel painting. I just wanted to do something large, and I really liked the ocean theme. The Il Poacher is about a woman taking away from this sea creature. His ears were shells, and she was stealing this eel and looking back, and she had this great ass. This is before the Pirates of the Caribbean. I think they stole my theme. But before I did any of the decorative stuff on it, the raw stuff was so powerful. I just should have stopped, But I just kept going and building up more wax, more wax, more wax. Craig O'Rourke had the American Hotel Gallery. He wanted to put a show on of behavioral patterns of art dealers. I'm looking at Mark and I'm going, I don't know what to paint. And then Mark goes, paint what you really love. That's really great. It's really great. It was really good. And so I painted the hand masturbating the penis in encaustic with that sparkly, cruddy stuff and pearlescent stuff. It's a small painting about this big. The composition was perfect, straightforward. I'm going, why am I painting a hand masturbating a penis? Art dealers are also jerk-offs too. So it's making sense. You know, I'm not in Iran, I'm not in Iraq, and I'm seriously a woman that is going to say what she feels. The show happened, and then it got written up in the LA Weekly. I was famous for being direct and straightforward with the eroticism. It was like, all right. That's when I realized I was an artist because Vic Henderson wanted it. And Mark just offered the money right down, $120 or something like that. It really floored a lot of American men. The American Hotel was notorious for sexual encounters everywhere. Cocaine use was big because we had to stay up and keep talking, and we'd stay up for hours. And a lot of booze. We were bad. But I didn't get enough sex, that's for sure. I really don't know why. I had the guy from the Special Olympics. I swear to God. He's definitely not my type, but he like begged me, and he was so sweet, and he worked in the Special Olympics. I said, you do? Okay, stay with me. And then the Rastafarian barely spoke at all and had like dreadlocks down here and gorgeous. I think I was working my butt off so much. I was dead tired, and I'd just go in and crash in my rooms. Seriously, I did not at all in that bar. I was the only one that never got laid on the pool table. I was on the beach with Marnie Weber. She said she woke up on the pool table, and I went, okay, I'm a real prude, okay? Now, I did have a couple lovers that broke my heart or didn't just quite make it, right? I had a menage a trois at least 3 times here in downtown LA. That was cool. I'm sure there's been quite a few more people, but I don't remember. They didn't stand out. When everybody that lived here at the American Hotel came downstairs, the neighborhood would come downstairs, things got solved. Whatever happened, things were rocking. Oh yeah, it's definitely changed. The American Hotel, where I used to live in, which is an amazing place with the original cast of characters. My wonderful friends, and it's continuing, and it's so much fun. It's gotten a lot more modern. Oh my God! And the plumbing is better, and it's not as wild, but it is a hotel now, and I have to respect that. Like, some people are really renting here and stuff. Here I am. Oh my God, this is a blast from the past. Be quiet. I guess I was laughing and being silly, and the guy goes, there's people here trying to sleep. A grumpy guy, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm serious. Because in the other days, it was never like that. We could do whatever we wanted. We were like, we could roll roller skates up here if we wanted to. Seriously. So I get in the door. It's the same door, but it's different. The colors are different. There's rugs and everything. So it's like old home. I know it's magic. I know. You are in a good environment. Come on over. This is like a magical place, and I found my place here. I mean, that's more than money could ever buy, and it was a blast. This place has changed so much. There's trees that have grown, a lot of beautiful murals, very colorful. It's more cosmopolitan. We were definitely rough around the edges. I didn't eat a lot, so when I did eat, I would eat like every 3 days because it had to be thin. I mean, I'm surprised I'm still walking around. There weren't any places to eat. We had Atomic Cafe. That was a crack up. Full Leaves was great. But they weren't around walking distance, so I had to like cook hot dogs and chili beans and have happy hour early. But this neighborhood's really, really colorful now. The place is bubbling with young people. And they're having a blast. And they're smart. And I just want to watch and observe them. It's very cool. It didn't die. Nothing died. It's growing and expanding. Even though there's hardly any parking and there's police officers and whatever. I'm glad it's still here. Keeping this energy going 24 hours a day is vital to LA.
Okay.